So hello and welcome to part 2 of Dinorwic Quarry's Daryl's workshop. It's all about him, as it was this morning when I did part 1, but he's encouraging me to go to places that I haven't been before, and we're heading off into a cave. And once we've been into the cave, we're going to go and find some other places that we haven't scrambled around, and we're going to try and make it a bit more interesting. And tomorrow morning we're going to the barracks. So yeah, stick with this video. There's bound to be a little bit of fun, some interesting new photographs from Dinorwic Quarry from me, and hopefully we can get away unscathed. So we've made it round pretty much the sketchy pathway bit. Just got to climb over a few rocks, as you do. Always a good safe thing to do this, isn't it? With a camera strapped to you. And some big, that's a big step. And some big steps, and we're here. Cave entrance. So all we got to do now is make our way in. Oh, and it's an open one, unless there's a mirror down there, but it's definitely open. You can see right the way through it, so that's very, very interesting. I love all these things. Very exciting.
What was the picture of this?
No idea.
Right. Is there anyone else?
No, not coming back.
Okay.
Wow.
The waterfall then.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Well, this is pretty cool, isn't it? We've come to the end of the first little part, and there's a bit of a water trickle, a bit of a waterfall coming over the top. So I think we need to get the camera out. Look at these sheer rock faces as well, all around us. Pretty immense. So yeah, time for a quick shot, and then we'll move on and go through a bit further. Just entering our second bit now. I've got a bit of torchlight with me now. We've got some water underfoot as well, which is a bit squidgy. The beauty of having the torch is I can actually try and work out where to put my feet rather than putting it in the water. There's a lot of bricks and that down here as well at the bottom. And there are some big puddles, so I don't particularly want to put my feet in the puddles if I can help it. So make our way round and out the other side. And that is that little tiny one, which is part 2 of the first one. So there we go, we're out. And they're pretty dark little holes, aren't they? But it's pretty cool. So just having a bit of a nose around while we're exploring, and we've got this tree here, and that tree is begging for a photo. So we're just gonna get the camera out and get a couple of that, but that is definitely, if the light was hitting it, it'd be amazing. We always like being in a new location or a new part, and I know Dinorwig quite well, but I've never been on this part, and it's really cool. So we've just come out the cave entrance, which is there, and I just spotted this little tree up on the top. So I've done a vertical shot of this. I'd really like the fact that that tree's there, but it shows the entrance that we came out of, and then you've got some like stripes, sort of fault lines going through the rocks as well, which is sort of pointing to the tree. But yeah, it just gives that a bit of a scale to where we've just come from, which is pretty awesome. I think we're going to go down there. I think that's where we're going next. This pool of water is definitely a really cool looking feature. It's got a beautiful clear colour to it. It wants a polarizer on it to break through the glare, but it's got some ace dead trees at the bottom, sort of thing you see in like Nevada or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna try and get down it, but rather than sort of climbing down all this scree, we're gonna have a look on the other side, see if we can go down the shorter scree part rather than the long scree part, if that makes sense. And then we'll be able to make our way back round to the main footpath. And I think it must be time for coffee. We've been on the go since 4 o'clock this morning, believe it or not. So for someone that's having a workshop, he's got his money's worth out of me. Yeah, no, this is good fun, very good fun. Let's just see if we can get down there safely. So we've made our way down so far. Not the easiest thing, not recommended. This is really loose behind, but we're taking our time and doing a really careful movement. I've put the polarizer on now, and I'm trying to sort of eliminate some of the glare in the water. I'm zoomed in at pretty much full spec 55mm, and I really like the shot. I love the colour of the water. It's really green, and you can see all the way to the bottom, and the little dead trees sticking out the bottom of it really do look quite ghostly and eerie. So yeah, I think these are going to be quite interesting shots. I need to get down to the water's edge though, because I want to look across the water, so that's the plan. I'm probably going to pass my tripod down to Daryl and then climb down without keeping going. We're at water's edge. We are actually down to the water's edge. He's just given me a right shock. He stepped on a bit of slate and it flipped over and went into the water, and this water in front of us is probably about 4 foot deep. So that wasn't too good. It wasn't much fun, that wasn't. Maybe jump. But yeah, these little dead trees, look at these. These are something else. These are pretty cool. Now, okay, the image doesn't look as good as what I thought it was going to look, but it's still pretty nice. It's pretty epic, and it's been a long time coming for me to get down here and have a look at this. So yeah, I quite like this. I've got the 7150, no, I've got the 7300 in my pocket. I may flip that over in a minute and try and get up close to some of these trees, because they have got to be getting sort of right sniped. They've got to get up close to. There's a bit over there, there's a bit over here that I can see. They just look so good. But for now, I'm just taking the brisk shot across the lake, across the water, getting this lovely green, bright green colour water. The polarizer's helping a little bit, but yeah, we're aiming at that building in the background there and try and get that as our main focus. And so far, so good. So it's 7:30 in the morning from when you last saw me. We are the next day, and I'm on my own at the moment. The weather forecast was 100% fog through Llanberis, so I didn't get up early, and Daryl didn't want to start till about 8:30. So I stayed in bed, knowing full well that we could have fog. Anyway, I opened my eyes this morning, looked over the top of the van, and I could see this thick bank of fog, but I could see the top of the hill. So I'm just quickly got myself ready, not even had coffee or my breakfast, and I'm just walking up to see if I can get a picture of the fog with the mountains above it, you know, like a cloud inversion. So I'm going up to the viewpoint to get a couple of quick shots, and I'll go back and get Daryl after, or at least I'll phone him and get him to meet me up here. But I could have missed another potential good morning, and I've done that 3 or 4 times this year already, just by laying in. Get up, get out is the answer, no matter what the conditions. Oh dear, I'll be gutted if it's not good now. So it's not quite as impressive as what it looked like in the van. I could just see the mist at the top, and I thought it was a little bit more cloud inversion. It's not, it's just got this bank of fog, this mist that's rolling across the top, which, don't get me wrong, is extremely nice. The blue sky is quite harsh, so I think what I might do is walk back to the van, drink my coffee properly, wait for Daryl, and I might bring the infrared camera out today, take a couple of infrared pictures of the quarry. I think that might be quite interesting. Dark skies, maybe light rocks and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, we might give that a go. But very pretty, worth coming down maybe an hour ago. Never mind. So Daryl's met up now. Daryl's with us. Part 2 of his weekend workshop. We are still at Dinorwic Quarry, as you probably already guessed. I have gone back to the van. I had my coffee. I picked up my little infrared XT1. This has been converted with a 720 nanometer infrared filter. It's actually built onto the, it's been converted actually on the sensor. It cost me about 250, 270 pounds to have done, which means it shoots infrared, which is great because it's a little different way of seeing things and seeing life through a different camera. And when you've got skies like this, it definitely works. Now, before we walk on down the path, and he's put his camera away, and I've just seen another shot, but oh no, he hasn't, he's got it in his hand. Before we get down to the barracks, which is where we're heading, this beautiful, beautiful light coming through these trees. Now, a little bit of fog would be amazing, but the infrared is nailing this, because all this foliage is looking green, and you've got these nice dark roots and tree shadows, and then you've got this path snaking down through. We've also got this bit of dead driftwood here as well, which might help, but I think there's a couple of shots as we walk down through these dappled trees. How this infrared can make you see things in a slightly different way. I'll see if I can show you on the back of the camera. It's very, very difficult to do this, but I'm trying to explain to Daryl as well, because he's never seen one before. But if you can see the back of my camera, and I'm not sure if you can, I might have to get into the shade. You can see there, you can see the camera, it's all the bright stuff is lighting up, and you're getting these really dark shadows. And actually, just holding the camera in that position with that big dark trunk, I actually quite like that. So I'm just going to take a snap while I'm there. But yeah, all your foliage then becomes really, really bright, and all your tree trunks are becoming a lot darker. So it's a very interesting way of seeing the world through an infrared camera, and only my second season with it, and I didn't really have it for long last year. But yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a play while I'm walking Daryl down to the quarry. And again, we're going to explore a little bit. This is a nice tree, this twisty one here. So yeah, let's snap a few more, and I'll put them up, and then I'm going to shut up and concentrate on Daryl. Oh, I can hold it up to the, oh yes. back through the barracks now. We're coming over to the other side and having a bit of a wander around, and these conditions are making it quite hard to try and find them images that work, but I think we've just nailed a couple of pretty good ones, just by using a little bit of ingenuity to overcome the bright harsh light. So looking through, looking round and looking under things, you know, just to add to the image. Again, if you want to come on a workshop, if you want to learn some of my little secrets, you know what to do. Go down to the description, and in part 1 of this video I actually put an offer code, so go back and watch part 1 and there's an offer code on there for you to come on a workshop over this way. Today's a bit more slower, a bit more subdued. Yesterday we did quite a lot, but it really is trying to work with the bright light coming through these trees and these buildings and the harsh conditions, so it's just trying to tame the images down and to make them a bit more mysterious. And there's a little way that we're working in our head, and I'm not going to disclose it. If you want to find out, you'll have to come out of us. But we've got this little thought process working at the moment, which is helping and aiding. So a couple of shots coming up for you now, some more buildings, a little bit more infrared, and let's crack on. Pulled up and we're having another little 5 minutes just here. We're going to put the long lens on. I'm going to pick off a few of these trees as we look into the galleries and the layers and stuff going up. So I'm going to whack the long lens on. I'm going to stick it on the infrared to start with, see if we can get a couple of these little trees in the infrared, and then maybe put on the colour one and have a go at that. But there's definitely a few little intimate shots in the side of this mountain. Always very interesting when you come onto a new part or you're out somewhere different and you have a look at something new. But we're over on that other level now. We came from up on that section over there, so this is the one with that tree sticking up, and you've got another ventilation shaft. I've just noticed, I'm pretty sure I've noticed a painting on the rock over there. I don't think it's the classic painting, but there's definitely something on the rock that someone's painted, so I'm going to go and have a look at that and see if there's an image anywhere. We're just making our way and meandering through all this, or meandering even, through all these tracks and things. I've got some more tracks down here left over, so plenty to have a look at. The plan is now to have a look at things like this. We've got this lovely bit of old ironwork. There's a cart over there which is full to the brim of slate that people have filled up, and we've got this painting over on the wall over there, so we're going to have a snapshot of that as well, just so now I know where it is and I found it. I had an idea it was over this way, but I thought it was on the entrance to a cave, and it's obviously not. So yeah, let's see if I can get a picture of this with all the rocks and the mountain behind it somehow. So we managed to take a few photographs of the cart with the slate in it. Very, very difficult with such harsh conditions. That would probably be much nicer in like a misty, foggy, wet, miserable sort of condition to make the sort of rust stand out. But I did take one on the infrared, and on the back of the camera it actually looks quite good. So if it works, it's coming up on the screen for you now. And there's another one to add to my infrared collection. Back off this level. We're going to have a little look, see if we can get on the level below, because there's a couple of buildings down there we might be able to get a couple of photographs of, and making our way back round, and we're going to go up and over, sort of through the middle, back the safe way afterwards. Oh yeah, I can see the building. If we can get onto that level, maybe we can get something, that one down there. So we'll have a look, see if we can, but it doesn't look like we can from this side. In fact, almost impossible, because that's just a sheer rock face down there. So yeah, we won't be going down to that level, because that's got to be accessed from the other end, I think, if you can get on it. The painting, got a couple of pictures of the painting. Very, very cool, very, very artistic, and amazed by how it's still there and staying there in the harsh conditions. It obviously gets pelted with rain, snow and all sorts, but it's pretty good to get a photograph of it. Even though it's somebody else's art, it's still nice to see it and get that keepsake. Right, let's plod on. Let's have a look and see what else we can find. It's seen plenty of work, years of toil. So I'm back in familiar area now. I know where I am. I know the winch house is just here. We crossed it earlier on this morning when we come at the end of the barrack, so I know where that is. We're going to be heading up this slope here, going up to the viewpoint. But before we do that, I think I need a shot of this old cart. I've looked at it many times and never jumped over the fence, but now I'm the other side of the fence, so on this side of it. Probably be a record shot, just with the atmosphere going on behind it. There is some weather closing in behind us as well, so the next time you see me, I'll probably be checking out. Whew, that's a fair old climb up there. And as you can see now, we're back at the gates where Dinorwic always seems to start and end. We have a walk down to the viewpoint and catch one's breath a little bit. But that's pretty much a whole weekend of wandering Dinorwic Quarry, exploring a few new pieces, going to some familiar pieces. But yeah, all in all, pretty good. I've tired him out. Definitely tired him out. And yeah, I'm going. So if you like this, don't forget to give us that thumbs up. like and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, always very, very important, it does help the algorithms. And yeah, let me know if you like the infrared shots. They're a very hit and miss for me. I never know whether they're good or not until I get home to the computer and have a look. The idea is in my head, but you don't know until you see them on the screen. That's it. Ciao for now. Say bye.
Bye.
He is tired, bless him. Right, see you soon. Ciao. So I've just got a little tiny add-on to the end of the video. Been out all morning and we decided to come around and have a look on the other side of the quarry. So Dinorwic quarry would be the other side of this mountain here. We're quite high up, pretty, you know, top level to where it would be. We've walked up 2 or 3 miles to come up this area, and look at this behind me. This is the dam, the reservoir that feeds the mountain. It's pretty low, the water level's really, really low. But I'm not sure whether it's actually pumped back up through the night and stuff like that, and then it's drained out through the day to sort of use to make the power with. But all I do know is that looks pretty amazing. It's quite something in the landscape, so I'm going to take a big panoramic shot of this because I just think it's pretty cool and deserves a photo for the effort we put in to get up here. So that's the end of the video. Ciao for now, see you soon, and maybe I'll come back and do a video dedicated just for this area. Ta-da.